Good evening, Knox County. I'm Snow Beetle, and you're not. Welcome back to Project Zomboid. I forgot to put it in the title again. That's okay. It'll find it. And welcome back to Project Zomboid, Surviving Your First Day, or as this series is going to be called, the New Player's Survival Guide. That's right, I'll be streaming Project Zomboid every single day until Build 42 comes out. Welcoming to the stream, Smarty. Glad to see you here. And I didn't post this in the typical Discord channels because I'm not trying to pull in my usual viewers, although they're more than welcome. But I didn't want to bring anybody in that is going to find or could potentially find this extremely boring, as it's intended for brand new players that are struggling to survive their first days and or weeks. Welcoming to the stream, Aldrin Kondoy. Glad you made it back. Glad to see you here as always. So yeah, this will be very basic. The first reason I'm doing it is the server I was going to play on, that I normally play on, needs to be restarted, and I don't have access to do it yet. And I've been wanting to do this new player's guide for a while. I have an old one, but I think I need an updated one. So we're going to start with this, surviving your first day, and then we'll just add to it as time permits. So, assuming you're brand new to Project Zomboid, you're going to come into the first, the game menu, and you're probably going to play solo for your first run. At least that's what I did. So click on solo. We're not playing with any mods, as you can see down here. I want to go straight vanilla, so you don't learn anything that is modded, because you should know the base game now, in my opinion. Or you should know the base game first, in my opinion, before you start adding mods, but that's totally up to you. But I want to keep it simple. Now, when I first started playing, I chose Apocalypse because I didn't know any better. If you're brand new and you want to go a little easier, I recommend taking Builder mode. It'll be a lot easier, especially versus zombies. But I'm going to choose Apocalypse to make sure I can find the zombies I need to find to show you how to fight against them and control them, I guess. Aldrin, or I should say Admiral, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Also, to anyone that is joining the stream that is a regular and or an experienced player, such as Admiral, and actually Aldrin, I don't know how much you play Zomboid, so I don't know what level you're at. But Admiral knows his stuff, so Admiral, feel free to jump in here and either correct me or give me more tips to share with anybody that's learning, because I know I'm still learning all the time, and I've been playing this game for a while, so always open to new hints, tips, tricks, tactics, and strategies. So, new game, we're going to do Apocalypse. Like I said, it's not really difficult if you've been playing for a while, but it'll give us enough zombies to work with so I can show you what to do. Click next. If you're a new player, Rosewood is probably the lowest population, smallest area to start in. I highly recommend that. Riverside was always my favorite. It's probably the second easiest. Then Moldra, although most people hate it, it's one of my favorite towns. And then West Point's probably the most difficult. I'm going to go ahead and choose Rosewood, since that might be where you're starting. And hopefully with the new player's guide, you'll become a little familiar with Rosewood for when you start finding your way. AJ Timms, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen your name before, so if you're new to the stream, welcome, welcome. We're starting in Rosewood on Apocalypse settings, vanilla, no mods. Now, I think I did create a character for this. Let me see. No, I didn't. And I think it's because character creation is almost, I would say it's as important, if not more important, than knowing how to play. Because if you don't start with the right skills, the right traits, I should say, the right occupation for what you want to accomplish, you're just starting, already in the hole, and you gotta work with what you have. Now, there are different schools of thought, different strategies, and different ways people like to play. So you'll find your own. We'll start with a basic unemployed build. I'm not going to choose any specific occupation to tip it in favor one way or the other for anything, because I'm going to show you basics. And we can go over more of these characters as the series grows. So, occupation, unemployed, and each one of these, if you did want to choose them, they give you different skills to start out with. Unemployed just gives you fitness and strength. Over here on the bottom right under major skills, fire officer gives you axe, sprinting, police, you're good with guns, etc., etc. And you'll find your favorite. But we're going to start with unemployed. AJ says, I don't usually comment, but I like having your streams in the background. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. It means I'm doing something good. All right. Yeah, feel free to chime in whenever, AJ. Questions or comments or suggestions are all appreciated. Okay, so occupation, just keep it simple, unemployed. But these available traits, the green ones are positive traits, the red ones are negative traits. And then down here in the bottom right, points to spend. So what you want to do is get this to 0, as close to 0 as you can, and it has to be 0 or in the green. If it's negative, let's say we have 8 points down here to spend with the unemployed occupation. As you notice, if I click fire officer, points goes to 0 because you get a lot more skills to start out with. But unemployed, you get 8 to start with. So let's say we chose strong, which is 10 points. I double clicked it, put it over here. You can also select and click add trait. But strong costs 10, so now we're in the hole -2. Notice the next button is grayed out. That's because you can't start with negative points. You have to get this to 0 or higher. So we'll get rid of strong. I'm going to start out with my basic favorites. The number of combinations you can have in here is huge. So it may be something you'll need to learn through trial and error, but I'll just give you my favorites. We can go from there. And if you have questions about certain ones, let me know. And if I have an answer, I'll let you know. Keen hearing is my #1 favorite trait. Positive trait, that is. Because it says larger perception radius, but really, it's basically eyes in the back of your head. I've heard some people say that this doesn't really help that much. I strongly disagree, because whenever I don't take it, I regret it. Zombies seem to sneak up on me a lot easier. So that's one of my favorites. We'll go ahead and get some points with negative traits to work with some of the basics that I think I don't know if I'd call them free points, but they're manageable negative traits, which makes it so that it's worth the trade-off with the points, with the negative effects of these traits. So short-sighted, because really it says smaller view distance, slower visibility fade. If you wear glasses in the game, you can fix that. Weak stomach, just don't eat anything rotten or burned. Well, don't eat anything burned anyway, it'll kill you, but don't eat anything rotten. And overall, weak stomach is pretty much free points. Prone to illness. Again, it talks about faster rate of zombification. If you get bit, you're going to die anyway, so that really doesn't matter. Smoker. This one I'm about 50-50 on. I'll take it to get the points, but smoking can be a pain if you don't find cigarettes or a fire source right away. But we'll take it so I can demonstrate that. I usually take it, but when I don't take it, I prefer it because I hate dealing with cigarettes, even though they're pretty easy to find. High thirst, because water is pretty much plentiful. Slow healer. My simple answer is don't get injured. But even when I have been injured with slow healer, you still heal relatively quickly, so I wouldn't worry about it. It's never been a problem for me unless you break a bone, which sucks anyway. And it's pretty rare unless you aren't paying attention. Thin skin. Don't go running through forests. You should be alright for the most part. If you're vaulting fences, you might trip and cut your leg. So just be careful. Thin skin is fine. So those are some of the basic ones that I consider free points. So now we're up to 35, and we already have keen hearing. And if nothing else, you're seeing the method to my madness. when I'm creating a character. Now, with these 35 points, we're going to take some of the best traits, in my opinion. Cat's eyes, because they help you see at night, because when it gets dark, cat's eyes at least gives you enough vision so that you can see them on the road. So if you stay in like brighter colored areas, and not indoors necessarily, probably like on the middle of the road, stuff like that, you can see the zombies very easily. So it's good to have at night. I might come back and get dexterous. Let's see what else we take. Let's see, gymnast, another good one. It gives you light-footed and nimble. Light-footed makes it so you make less noise when you're moving around. Nimble makes it so that you're more graceful, to where usually when we'll talk about combat and backing up or kiting the zombies, the nimble makes it so you can back up faster, which makes combat easier. So starting with a +1 on that is going to help. Now I always take fast learner because of the increased XP gains, because that's across the board. Whether you're fighting and learning a weapon, you're learning how to fix cars, you're learning how to cook, whatever. Fast learner gives you XP boost, so it's worth it because it covers everything. So your skills will go up faster. What else? Now, I'm trying to decide if I should use foraging for a beginner's guide, because this herbalist will make it so you can identify plants so that you don't accidentally eat poisonous ones. We might come back to that. Alright, so now we're in the higher point stuff. We still have 22 left. So in this case, I would recommend either taking stout or strong. The difference is stout, it gives you +2 in strength and costs 6 points. Strong gives you +4 in strength and costs 10 points. Strong is better. Both these will make it so you can knock the zombies down and do more damage, or I should say more knockback with them, and you can carry more stuff. So since we have 22 points, I'm going to go ahead and take strong. And as you notice, our strength got kicked way up. And athletic will give us a bonus in fitness. That makes it so that you can run faster and also run longer without getting tired as quickly. So if you do have to run, this is good to have. We'll take that. And again, this is a very basic build, but I think it's a good starter build for a beginner. And we have 2 points left. So what can we get for 2 points? Normally I would take dexterous for streaming, because being able to transfer inventory items quickly is important when I'm streaming, so people aren't waiting for me to move stuff. But since we're going to go slow anyway as part of the guide, I'm going to go with outdoorsman. Makes it so if you're outside in the rain, you're less likely to get sick. It doesn't mean you're impervious to getting sick. I think you still have a 10% chance of getting sick in the rain or the cold, but that's way better than your odds without it. So we'll take outdoorsman as well. So that will be our build. We're at 0 points. We'll go ahead and save this. We'll say new player unemployed. Oh, that's another thing. Once you create this and you get all your skills, it is important to save it, and this is why. It doesn't matter how well you play, you're gonna die at some point. So having to recreate this every time, it takes a lot of time that you could be playing the game. So if you save it, you at least have your base template to work with, and you can make changes once you load it. Excuse me. So we'll save this in case I die. And we'll go to, now that we have all our skills set and we have it saved, we can click next. And this is where you basically choose what your character looks like. Can't believe I'm losing my voice. Okay. I usually choose the same look. I play female characters, so I think this is, I created vulnerable snow beetle. Yeah. Because they wanted to show you, even if you don't have a bunch of, gear and leather jackets or whatever, you can still survive pretty easily. I will give her. Oh, I forgot to. I meant to unlock all the clothing, but that's okay. I'll come up with something. You can even take glasses here if you want. I'm not really worried about it, but if you wanted the glasses for the short-sighted we took, it'll help that. I guess I'll take it. It's not going to hurt anything. And you can choose different colors over here under the types. I think we'll just go with no clothes. We'll put some shoes on though. Don't have the flip-flops that I had in the picture, but I don't want to back all the way out. So we'll just do that. So, because you want something on your feet for sure, so you don't cut your feet while you're stomping zombie heads in the beginning. So we'll just start with that. Looks pretty vulnerable to me. And I don't need to save it. That's easy enough to do. Okay, and then we click play. So that's how you set up the basic character. Make changes to what you're thinking. You don't have to take what people recommend either. Obviously, you can choose whatever you want. You'll live and learn, die and learn which ones are good and why. And it also depends on what your goals are too, but this will be a good place to start. This is how you died. I like to think of it, this is how you lived with the new player's survival guide. Hopefully I can learn how to split this up into chapters so I can direct people to each section of the recorded stream, but I haven't learned how to do that yet. Admiral says, I missed the start of this stream. What did you say is a good loot setting for beginners? Oh, I didn't even do that. I left everything to the default. I just chose apocalypse settings. What would you recommend as a loot setting, Admiral? I would start with the default settings, which is what? Is it normal or rare? I might have to cover that on the next, if when I die. But otherwise, I'll share your recommendation. Okay, so we're at the click to start screen. Now, as a new player, what I would recommend is as soon as you click to start and the world loads, the first thing you should do. I mean, you don't always have to do this, but it's good when you're new. Press the C key so you crouch immediately. That way, if there is a zombie or zombies immediately outside, they're less likely to see you right away. Doesn't mean they won't see you, but they're less likely to. So crouching is a good start. And I have the pause button, so I can pause if I need to explain stuff as we go. So I'm crouched down now. All right. Now, it looks like they may have seen me already, this one in the blue shirt. Because of all these damn windows. And I already know where I am. This is the Rosewood police station. So there are windows on both sides, really. And it's usually pretty busy out here. So they're already munching on somebody. Now, I would say a lot of players automatically panic as soon as they're spotted. And if you don't know how to handle zombies, that totally makes sense. But your worst enemy in this game is panic. And everybody does it. I still panic when I get surprised. But you have to try not to, and you'll get better at it. So you just have to think about, okay, what's the next logical step to survival? I think this guy saw me. I won't know until I'm positive for sure. And just from playing the game, I know he's going to head right to this window to try to break in and get to me. As soon as he starts making noise, he could attract other ones. So I need to either stop him from attracting more, which means I'd have to go outside, or wait for him to break the window and come inside and kill him in here. So we don't have a weapon yet, so we're probably going to have to do it with our hands and feet, and that's okay. And I apologize if I sound condescending when I'm saying these things. I don't know how else to share it. I'm just trying to be instructive. So let's see what he does. Yeah, he's already seen me. So now he's going to bang. We'll go ahead and stand up. He's going to bang on this window. until it breaks. Now, if we had a weapon, we could speed it up for him, and a melee weapon, break the window so he could get inside. What you don't want to do is just leave the building, because right now it's just one. And when he breaks the glass, I'll try to speed it up so he can break the glass. He's going to jump inside, and they always fall down when they come through a window or climb a short fence. So we're going to stomp them immediately. And I'll show you how to do that. Actually, we'll go over here. So when you press your right mouse button and hold it down, you get this aiming cursor, also called the isometric cursor. That's the direction you're fighting in. So I'm going to hold it facing him. And when he gets close, I press the left button, and I pushed him. And because I have strong, he fell down. Now, before some more come. So that happened kind of quickly. But basically, you get that isometric cursor by pressing and holding your right mouse button. You want to put it in the direction of the zombie you're going to fight. And really, ideally, you don't want it too close to you, because if it gets between you and the zombie, you could spin around and they'll bite you in the back. So ideally, keep the isometric cursor on the other side behind the zombie so that the zombie's between you and the cursor. Because I see a lot of new players when they're playing, they're not watching where their cursor is, and that's how you get bit. So I'll show you what I mean. So also, you can stand on top of them, and as long as you're basically like center of mass, they can't get up. You can even sit down and hold them down, and they can't get up. You're in control. So I'll get up and show that to you again. So we'll come over here, let them get up. Push him. So he didn't go down that time, but that time he did. So, and to push, it's the same as to swing. You're using the left mouse button. So right mouse button to get the cursor, left mouse button to push and or swing your weapon. Now, while they're on the ground like this and we don't have a weapon, since there's no weapon in our hands, you just press the left mouse button and you stomp like that. You want to try to get it on their head. It seems to do the most damage. So we dispatched our first zombie. Now, yeah, they're still eating out there. So to check, let me pause this for a second because we can look at this. So these are your inventory windows up here. We should probably go over the UI too, actually, because this wasn't intuitive to me at all when I started. So over here on the left-hand side, these are different icons you can use to open different things. This cardboard box, the third one down. Well, I'll start at the top. This top one, top circle, that's what's in your primary hand. Right now it's empty. If we were holding a hammer or something, it would be in the hand. This is the secondary. It's your other hand. You can't use secondary to swing a weapon, but you can hold stuff in it. And it reduces the encumbrance. Like if you just have it in your main inventory window here, which I'll go over, the encumbrance is reduced if it's in your secondary. So if you're carrying something heavy, it's usually good to throw it in there if you can. So this cardboard box here, if we click on it, notice that these two windows go away. So that opens and closes your inventory. I usually keep mine up all the time. And these pins right here, if you go to the top right of each window, because these are two separate windows, you have this push pin here. That can lock it open. I don't like mine locked open. I want them to collapse when I click outside. But those are the two inventory windows. So if you ever accidentally close them, like clicking this X here, I only closed one. If you click the box again, they pop right back up. So we'll look in the first inventory window. And then you can move these around. By default, the one on the left is going to be your personal inventory. This cardboard box icon on the right side over here, that is your main inventory. Basically your pockets is, I guess, what you would call it. Or in this case, also what you're wearing. So we're wearing the belt, the glasses, the shoes, and then it shows our keychain. And because it is a container to hold keys, it also shows up on this side. So we have a key to the police station, which we spawned with it because we're inside. So that'll be good. We can use it to open the armory. So you usually get the key that you spawn with. The key to the building you spawn inside. You'll get that key. So this is our main inventory. Whenever you pick something up, like if we try to take, and this Basically, this is the inventory of anything around you. And the closest thing right now is the zombie we're standing on. This is the zombies inventory. And this blue white checkerboard here, I call it the floor, but really it's everything in your immediate area within a 3x3 tile grid. So if there was something on top of the desk that was within range, it's not necessarily on the floor, but it's anywhere in the world, not inside a container. Hopefully that makes sense. So right now it shows the glasses, because if you look down here, the glasses are on the floor. I knocked them off when I pushed them down. So we unpause this. Right now we're looking at the floor, it's highlighted. We can drag these and put them on the zombie corpse. Basically give him his glasses back. Now they're no longer on the floor, they're on the corpse. And then if we wanted something from the zombie, we can take it and you can drag it to your inventory. Or you can also come over here and see how it says grab. If you put the mouse over here, you can grab it. That's a slightly faster way. Sometimes I do that, especially if it's like rotten food I'm trying to move. I don't want to accidentally eat it. So sometimes if you go to drag it, you might accidentally double click and start eating it. That's bad. So grabbing is for safety, really. And then you can also, there's loot all up here. Basically everything that's in this screen, if you click loot all, you'll pick it all up. So that's another fast way to do it. Now if you look over in our main inventory, you'll notice this thin line between the t-shirt and everything else. Basically what's on top of the line is what we're carrying in our pockets or in our hands. Not really our hands. I say pockets because you can't see it. But anything below the line is something you're wearing, or like other bags. So we're wearing these and the t-shirt is just in our pocket. Now we might need bandages soon. So if you use t-shirts or regular shirts or socks, you can rip them into sheets. So we right click, and a lot of stuff you right click on, you get menus are usually pretty similar, depends on the item. But in this case, we have options. You could wear the shirt, turn it into sheet rope if you wanted to climb out. And the reason it says one or all three is it's also counting the ones in this on a zombie. So technically if we did craft sheet rope all three, it would take, because you use a t-shirt, you use the socks or the lumberjack shirt to make sheet rope out of, it would automatically do them all. But rip clothing, they changed it. You have to do them one at a time unless you use the crafting menu. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So with jeans, you can't rip them unless you have scissors. Briefs you can't rip. At least I don't think you can. No. Sneakers you can't rip, but you can wear them. So, hey Rerun, hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the new player's guide. So we'll rip this t-shirt first. Actually, we do need clothes though. All right, the lumberjack shirt's in good condition, so we'll rip that one. We'll put this t-shirt on. So if you want to wear something, right now we have nothing on. You right click on it, do wear. Put the shirt on. And you don't have to have it in your inventory to wear it. You could grab it right off the zombie. We'll put these pants on. We'll wear those. Better protection than nothing. The shoes we're wearing, the strap shoes, are fine. In fact, if you hover over it, it shows you the name of the shoes, how much they weigh, whether you're wearing them or not. Condition, right now it's full green bar, meaning, actually let me not waste time here, we'll pause this for a second. The full green bar shows under condition that the shoes are in perfect condition. Insulation, a little bit, not great. I've never really worried about wind or water resistance. I suppose the water resistance would help in the rain, but it's not very good on these shoes anyway. Bite defense, I think it's percentage 10, scratch defense 20. Run speed modifier 0.95. So I think that means you move a little faster. Rerun says, I played 1 billion hours, but I'll bet I'll learn something valuable. I hope so. I hope so. So now, key here, you may want to upgrade your shoes, but if we highlight the sneakers, or I should say mouse over the sneakers, you'll notice under bite defense and scratch defense, it's red and it shows you get a negative. So if I put these sneakers on, my feet will be less protected than the shoes I already have. Now these are like military boots on the zombie. It would show green on both, and it would be an upgrade in footwear. So right now we're not going to take the sneakers. I actually can't remember if run speed modifier, if over 1 is better or worse. I've never really paid attention, but run speed modifier on the sneakers is 1.1 and the strap shoes is 0.95. That has to do with moving faster, but I've never really paid attention to it, so I couldn't tell you which is better, to be honest. So we have shoes that we brought with us, pants, t-shirt. We could wear the lumberjack shirt also, but we're not going to, because I'm going to show you how to make rip sheets for bandages with it. Now, the thing about socks, this is like my pro tip. I think I learned it from Bullet Bait. We hover over jeans. If you notice the encumbrance, it shows 0.3. That's if we're wearing it. If we're not wearing it, it weighs 1, which is a lot, because if you look at our up here in our inventory, the top right, it shows we're carrying 0.99 out of 18. Those are encumbrance units. So pair of pants, if you're not wearing them, they weigh 1. That takes a big chunk out of your weight capacity or encumbrance capacity. So if you see it's 1, if we look at the t-shirt, it's also 1. So most clothing weighs 1.0 when it's unequipped. And I forget what rip sheets weigh, so let's check that. If we look at the lumberjack, it weighs 1. We right click and do rip clothing. All right, so we got some dirty rags and some rip sheets. So here, because there's more than 1, that's another thing. If you see an item and it has a number next to it, it means that's how many there are of it. If you left click on the icon of that item, it'll break it down so you can see each individual item in that group. But as you can see, it weighs 0.05, so that's not too bad. We'll get rid of the dirty rags because we don't really need those. We'll put them back on the zombie. But what I was getting at is, let's say you want to carry rip sheets for bandages. They weigh 0.0 or 0.05. And then if we come over here to these socks, they weigh 0.1 or 0.03 equipped. So right now the rip sheets, 2 of them weigh 0.1, but the socks weigh 0.1 also. So the socks and 2 rip sheets weigh the same. My point is, if you want to carry clothing to use as potential rip sheets and or sheet ropes in the future, socks are the lightest item of clothing, and it makes the same amount of rip sheets and or sheet rope as the other items of clothing. So I usually grab socks all the time to have them on me because they're light and you have options. So if you need a rope, you can make it. If you need rip sheets, you can make it. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, that's probably a little deeper than I needed to go, but I thought of it, so I thought I'd mention it. Okay, so that's all basics for that guy. You'll notice over here, this Moodle popped up. Call them Moodles. Basically shows your mood for each potential condition your character can have. Right now we're slightly thirsty. That's not too bad, but since there's a water cooler right here, you right click on it and drink, and that Moodle goes away. Ideally you want no Moodles over here, but if you ever watch me play, I always have a billion Moodles going all the time, but I don't advise it. That's just me being inefficient. Okay, so we'll go back to crouching because these other guys haven't seen us yet. And if you have any questions while we're playing or while I'm playing, let me know. Now we're going to start searching for weapons or other items that we can use. These desks always have an inventory. So basically I'm standing next to it and I open the window, and if you notice this piece right here above my head, let me zoom in. If I go here, it lights up. So that's the location inside the desk I'm looking at. We are a smoker, so we're going to take the lighter. I'm going to leave the glue because I don't use it, but you could use it to repair some weapons. Certain weapons. So we're going to check each desk. Maybe we'll find some cigarettes. Magazines and stuff you can read to get rid of boredom and stress. Tape, again, you can use to repair stuff, but we're going to try and keep it simple. So right away we found cigarettes. So we'll drag all these over. Now we don't have an anxious Moodle yet. We'll get that when we need a smoke, but now we have smokes and we have a lighter, so we're ready for when we need it. Pen. There are many writing utensils. We'll grab the pen, and the reason you want a pen, or some writing utensil, actually I'll drop it for a second. Come over here. Oh, I didn't really show you how to drop stuff. Let's pick it up real quick. Alright, so to drop stuff, you can either right click on it and do drop, or you can just drag the item to the floor and it'll drop it. If you want to be more specific, you can right click on it and do place item, and then you can put it anywhere you want exactly. If you hold down the R key, see it spins, so you can put it in any position you want. This is a little more advanced, but I'll just cover it real quick. If you want to place it on a table, a lot of times I see people, they're trying to place it, like say they want to place it here on this desk. They'll go right here to place it. See, it looks like I'm highlighting the top of the desk, but that's actually not what I'm highlighting. I'm highlighting the tile behind the desk on the floor. So what you want to do is you're going to place something on top of furniture. You want to highlight the tile that's below the furniture. So right now, the square is on the tile right below that portion of the desk. And if we click it to place it, she'll go pick it up and she'll put it right on the desktop, right where you wanted it. And you can see how it's on top of the desk. Now, if I chose that other spot that looks like the top of the desk, which is actually the floor, and I place it, it looks like it's going to put it on top. But if I click it, you can kind of sort of see it. It's a little bit grayed out. It's because it's on the floor behind the desk. It's not actually on the desk. Again, I hope that makes sense. Nicole Plays, welcome to the stream. Glad you made it. It's a newbie stream, though. I hope you're okay with that, and not bored like my Moodle says my character is. Okay, so we have a pen, and the reason you want a pen, over here on the left side again, this bottom icon is your map. I forgot to enable the mini map, so I'll have to add that later. So again, you click on the map, it opens it. And because we have a pen, actually I'll show you without the pen first. Drop this, come over here, where we can't reach it. Open the map. So you can mark your map by clicking on these icons or clicking add note. But see how everything's grayed out? That's because I don't have a writing utensil. Add note is grayed out, and we can't click on any of these. Can't click on any of the colors. So we'll go pick up the pen. Now that we have a pen, if we click on the map, add note is white, and you can click on any of these. The pen is only black, so that's the only color we can use. Ideally, you want to find crayons, then you can use whatever color you want. But we got to work with what we have. So we'll just mark this, click on, I like the asterisk for my spawn point. So I just click to remind myself I spawned inside this building. But you could also do add note by clicking on add note and then just position it where you want. And type spawn or whatever you need, and you can drag the map around to get it exactly where you want. And then click OK. And that's why you want a writing utensil. Like if you find something you need to come back later, you know exactly where it is and you don't have to try to find it again. Rerun, showing a zombie. You want to see more zombie stuff? So because we're bored, oh, and we're thirsty again. Ideally, we need to find a water container so we don't have to keep taking drinks. But we're bored because we're inside and not doing anything. So let's check the rest of these desks real quick. Oh, let me go over the refrigerator again. I just did it automatically because I take it for granted. So again, you can do this. We're standing next to it so it highlights, or you can click on the container as well. And it shows the fridge and it shows the freezer. So a refrigerator has two items, I should say, two compartments. So remember to check each one for food. And blue would give us another color. I prefer the pencil usually until I find crayons, but we'll just stick with the pen we have. Rubber bands are useless unless you have a mod. We could read this magazine, boredom reduction 20. Right now we're bored, so let's go ahead and do that. Right click and do read. And then this meter appears above your head. See how it's slowly getting greener? That's how long it's going to take you to read it. And we could fast forward it in single player. I'm just not going to do it just yet, though. Rerun, now I'm enjoying. Just a random zombie got it. Always good to be jump scared in chat. So this bored Moodle should go away, and it does. I think the anxious Moodle popped up because I was reading it, and then it went away when I was done. The news makes you irritated, I guess. Okay, so now we're a little bit hungry. It shows peckish. Moodle popped up, so we need to find some food too. And while you're inside, you can see through the windows. This is actually to another interior part of the office, but okay, eraser, we'll grab that. If you have an eraser and you go back to your map, now all these are available. You can do edit, you can like edit this word, you can move it, you can remove the marking, like we could just click remove marking, highlight spawn, and it's gone. So that's what the eraser is for. So like let's say you find propane, you go back and pick it up, and then you want to take it off the map so you know it's gone. Then that's the way you do it. You need an eraser. Scissors. We don't have any other weapons right now. The condition is 100%. So you could do it a few ways. You could drag it to your inventory. You're not ready to fight with it yet. Now you notice the music picked up and sounds a little more dramatic. That usually means the zombies are headed your way, but not always. But pay attention to the music. It can tip you off to what's coming. But I think in this case it's just random. So I dragged the scissors to myself, but I can't fight with them. They're not in my hand. So we'll put those back for a second. You can right click on it and do attach to belt left or right. Because we're wearing a belt, which is right here, you come down here to your hotbar. You have slots 2 and 3, belt left and belt right. So we can right click on the scissors, do attach to belt right. And now it shows up on our hotbar. Now what that means is, just like any other game, you press 3, you pull out the scissors. It also shows it in your primary slot up here in the top left. So if you're like, what's in my hand, you can look and see what it is. So now we have a weapon. It's not a very good weapon. We'll put it away for now, but it's on our belt. It's ready to go. Foundation makeup, yeah, you can put makeup on in the game, but you need a hand mirror to do it, and we're not going to do that today. More cigarettes. I have 20, but I'll probably take more anyway. More scissors. I guess we can put that on our other side of the belt. We're going to be like Edward Scissorhands here. All right. And I guess ideally, you can see it on our hips. You should probably keep a weapon in your hand all the time. As a new player, I would say. All I see in there is chairs and tables, so I'm not going to go inside there. Let's get another drink. Oh, see? That's what the music was for, because he wandered in. It was a warning. So while that one's banging on the glass, let's go take care of this guy. Now I want to show you something. Well, I'll kill him first. So I'm going to let him up. The scissors have a certain range, short blade range. Short blade range. So when he gets close enough, you can stab him. But if you get too close, when you go to stab, you actually push. So you need to, if you want to use the weapon, you can't let him get too close. And notice my cursor is on the other side of him. Okay, now they got too close, so I needed to move away. And now we got 3. So it's getting a little bit busy in here. We could take it outside for safety. So just calmly walk to an exit. And bring them outside. And I'll kill these guys and then I'll explain looking around a little bit. You can also push them down. Stand on top of them and fight the other ones. Although there's too many, so it's not a good strategy at this time. Alright, we're going to stop here for a second. So, this is another thing. And I'm already thirsty again because I don't have a water bottle. This is a point where I see a lot of players, they start panicking again, which is understandable. I mean, especially if you don't have a weapon and you're a new player. You're still learning how to fight. 3 zombies is very intimidating. And what players usually start doing is they just start running, which tires you out, or they try to walk away and or run away, and they run towards more zombies, not realizing it. Right now we have 3 to deal with. It's not ideal, but it's better than 6, so it's better than 10. We don't want to attract more if we can help it. So we need to try and stay in the area that we're in instead of going somewhere else and attracting more, and take care of these 3. So because I am outside, there could be more zombies around this corner. There could be some on the fence to the north here. There could be some in front of the building that will hear us fighting and come around the corner. So really, I should probably try to take these guys back inside. But the other problem is they're bunched up, and that makes it harder to fight them, especially with a pair of scissors. And if we look at the scissors in our hand, notice the condition is almost broken. So all the stabbing I did, these scissors are almost done. I'm going to have to switch to the other pair. So I'll use these until they break, but you kind of have to pay attention to your weapon condition. Or you'd be ready to walk away at any time in case they break. And weapons like scissors break easily. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to attract anymore. So I'm going to try to get these guys back inside and thin them out a little bit so I can kill them one by one. We could thin them out outside too, but I just, for the purposes of this tutorial or this guide, I don't want to attract more zombies just yet. So I'm going to unpause it, and then I'm going to walk around them and go back inside the building. And that's another thing. You can always outwalk these guys, so you don't need to freak out and start running. You'll see me run every once in a while. It's usually just to get past them real quick or to get a better position, but I try to limit it if I can, for the most part. So we'll hit, and I'm just going to walk around them. We'll zoom out in case we see anybody else. See, we got a 4th one now. Again, we're not going to freak out. We're going to take them inside. All right, so this one, now they're kind of split up a little bit. And that one broke already. So we're going to walk through this door. Oh, I need to talk about going through doors too. I'll do that after I kill these guys. The point is, don't panic. You can always get away. Well, almost always. Run a little bit to get past them. Oh, that's another thing. We'll go over that right now. Alright, pause for a second. So, if you notice, that guy started banging on that door, or I'm sorry, that window, because he saw us through it. You can usually use windows and doors to get the zombies to peel off of you. If you walk close to windows and doors, they might lose interest in you and take interest in the windows and doors, so that's another way to improve your situation, as far as like reduce the number of zombies temporarily. So we still have peckish moodle. Now we have strong panic because our character doesn't have any desensitization. So now we're panicking. And the problem is when your character's panicking, they do less damage with each swing. Anxious. Could be from the panic. Could be because we need to smoke. And of course, we're slightly thirsty now. So again, we are in danger, but we don't have to panic. We just need to get the best of these guys. That one has this one here has a duffel bag on her back. We kind of want that so we can carry more stuff. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to take these guys out. I'm probably going to have to thin them out because all I have is a pair of scissors, and pushing and shoving isn't going to work with this many. Although we only have 2 in this room right now. One's about to pop through this window. I might be able to handle these 3, but I also saw one headed for the door, so they're going to start banging on the windows here. So I'll see if I can take them all down in here. It's better than going outside and attracting more. But if it gets too sketchy, I'll run outside. Try to knock this one down, stand on it, and we'll stab this one. And we got 2 more coming. We got to head out. Open the door. And you use E to open it when you're standing close. There's other ways to open it. I'll try to cover that later. Alright, now, we have 4 on us. I'm going to walk them over here for a second. We only have that one door. So what we're going to do is we're going to take them back this way. And I'm going to run along the windows. You can walk too, but I'm just doing it faster. And some of them will either fall inside the broken ones or attack the unbroken ones. We use these windows too, and the door. We can even close that one. Now notice that guy, now he's interested in the window. And you can also come over here, and they can't get over double high fences, so you can use E to hop over. Now he's going to go for that window, because he's going to break in there, come in and break in there. So let's pull him back over. They'll see us. Oh, maybe not. And it already broke. Alright, but we can handle 2 zombies pushing, as long as no others show up. We just gotta knock one down. Maybe not. Alright. We don't really need the broken scissors anymore, so we'll drop those. Go ahead and smoke a cigarette to ease our anxiety a little bit. I just did right click and smoke, and it worked because we have a lighter in our pocket. So this anxious mood should go away. Panic's slightly going away because we're farther away from the zombies. So it's pretty clear over here. Well, got a couple there. Alright, we're kind of spread out. Let's try to take these guys out slowly. Stomp on the head. Push this one. Stomp on the head. Doesn't always do it in one stomp, but they were already injured, I think. Okay. I'll pause for a second. Check chat. Bad Sad, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Let's see. Some guy. Awesome. Some wisdom from the day one expert. Oh, thanks. Some guy, have you covered house alarms? These got me killed a lot. I have not yet. Hopefully we run into one. I would say the key with house alarms and car alarms is if you don't absolutely have to get what's in there, leave the area immediately. And if you're in like a farm area, it won't be as bad. But if you're in an urban area, house alarms and car alarms, it just brings so many zombies in. Especially if you're a new player, they'll totally kill you. So, but if like, let's say you know there's a crowbar in a house, I guess you wouldn't know. I guess you'd see one on the ground or something. But you open it and there's an alarm, but you need that crowbar. You probably have time to hop in the window unless there's zombies in there. Grab that crowbar and run out before the house alarm becomes too much of a problem. I would say you have probably 30 seconds, maybe, depending on the area. But hopefully we'll run into one of those so we can play it out. So yeah, so we took care of these 3. I think there's at least a 4th one, maybe a 5th one back in front where we came from. But right now we're good. And if we look at, that's another thing. If you're playing solo, these, you probably already saw me push them, but these buttons up here, as well as your F keys, are pause, play normal speed, double speed, triple speed. At least I think it's double and triple. You can pause the game anytime if you're playing solo. So if you get overwhelmed and you need to think about what you need to do, don't be afraid to hit pause. It's not cheating, you're still learning. Eventually you won't need it anymore. But also, if you hit pause, you can look at their inventories and decide if there's something you want to grab before you unpause it again. This first guy doesn't really have much that we need, just more clothes. This one, same. They have a ring, but it's not worth anything in vanilla unless you just want to wear some bling. And here we found a red digital watch, which is huge. Because right now on the top right, all we have is our pause, fast forward buttons. But if we put this watch on, we'll have the time. Because it's a digital watch, we'll have the temperature. If it's just a classic watch, you'll only have the time. And this is huge. Knowing what time it is really important in this game. And knowing the temperature can be very helpful as well. And it's could be an upgrade for clothing too. So for now, we'll grab the watch, put it on. right click. Where you can put it on your left or right, doesn't matter. I usually put it on my left. And something I noticed watching a new player play the other day, you don't even need to be wearing it. We can unequip it and you still see the time and everything, which I didn't realize. And I played many, many hours. So you don't even have to wear it if you don't want to. But we should probably get inside and get a drink here. I thought one of these had a duffel bag. Oh, there it is. So the duffel bag here, it's on the zombie. We're going to right click, equip on back. And now we have a duffel bag. And what that gives us is now we don't only have our main inventory cardboard box icon, you still have your keys. And now we can click on duffel bag and it's empty, but it holds 18. And if we mouse over it, let me pause. We mouse over the duffel bag, it shows encumbrance. That's how much the bag weighs right now, 1. Capacity is how many encumbrance units it can hold. It's 18, which is the same as our main inventory. Encumbrance reduction is 65%. So whatever you put inside the duffel bag, it's, I want to say weight, but it's not accurate. Its encumbrance is reduced by 65%. So it's much better to put it in the duffel bag than it is to keep it in your main inventory, like if you have something heavy especially. So we can drag all this stuff and put it in our duffel bag. Sneaky Pete, welcome to the stream. Survive the apocalypse the beetle way. That's right. Hello, hello. So we'll unpause this first so I can show you. So like our cigarettes, we can drag them and drop them on the duffel bag icon and it puts them in there. Eraser. And of course you can click the top one and then hold Control to select different ones, or you can hold Shift and select them all as a group and drag them to the duffel bag. Now all that stuff is in the duffel bag and it's actually lighter than it was. I'm going to put the rip sheets back in main inventory because if we need to use them as bandages, it's faster if they're in your main inventory than if they're in your bag. Otherwise, you have to reach into your bag to pull them out. It takes a little bit longer, and if your neck is bleeding out, you want to be as quick as possible. So let's go back inside. I'm going to sneak so I don't attract anybody else at the moment. See those two guys? If I sneak, they shouldn't hear me. But I only have light-footed one, so it's possible. But we need to get water, so that's why we're going inside. Now, clear this door. Since there were other zombies walking around, this hallway was clear. But there could be a zombie standing in there right now. And because of that, what you can do, and as a new player, it's not always the best, but for me, the best way to go through that door right now, because I don't know it's clear, you can creep up to it, but if they're standing right there, they can just bite you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through it, because if you run, you could bump them and push them out of the way if there's someone standing there. So, and to run, it's, the WASD and then hold down Shift, your left shift. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it's clear anyway. So we'll close that. If it wasn't clear, I would have kept running right through them. It's probably best not to do it crouched, but it's just a habit for me. So right now, we still have power and water, so you can use the light switches to turn on lights. Some people will tell you it attracts zombies. In my experience, that's not correct. They hear the sound, but they don't see the light. So if they happen to be standing outside and you flip the switch, they might hear that and come looking for you. But they're not going to see the light. Like, that isn't what brings them in. So I turn on the lights all the time because I'd rather be able to see if I have to fight than worry about them hearing the switch. So let's get a drink while I'm thinking about it. To get a drink, right click on the water cooler like I've been doing. And maybe a little lesson about water coolers. If you right click on it and hover over drink, it shows you how many units are left in there. So far we've taken 8 of 250 because it was full when we started. So it'll last quite a while. But and we could carry it, but it's pretty heavy, so we need to find a water bottle to fill. Okay, here banging. So we know there's a zombie somewhere here. We're going to crouch. I hear him growling, so he's probably inside the building. Oh, he's on that window. So he's going to break it soon. Since he's already seen me, probably, I'm going to uncrouch. Again, clearing the door. You can peek out, but I just prefer to clear the door quickly. And we're good. That's a jump scare sound if you haven't heard it before. Even though we saw it, I guess our character didn't see him. until now. But just seeing him through the glass triggered the jump scare sound, which in certain circumstances is really annoying and or scary. So that's the armory right there. And we have a key because we spawned in here. So I'm going to wait till he comes in. Take care of him. The police officer. Push him down. Try again, and backing up while this happens, in case you miss. If you're backing up, they have less likely chance to get you. That's where that nimble comes into effect. And we just keep stomping until they're done. We don't necessarily need a double holster, but it's better than no holster, so we'll go ahead and wear it. I don't usually use both sides of the holster because it's just too heavy. Bulletproof vest. Now if you look, it shows bite defense plus 30, scratch defense plus 55, bullet defense plus 100. So it does protect you more. I'll go ahead and put it on. Normally I wouldn't because they're heavy and they're hot and it's summertime, but for the purposes of this guide, I'll wear it. And it can save your life. So as a new player, having good clothing and in this case body armor on is very helpful. That way, if you accidentally do get a bite, it might just take out the bulletproof vest and not you. So these shoes are about the same as ours, so we're not going to take those. And I don't really want any of those clothes, so armory is next. Now it's probably only going to be firearms in here. But we'll look for other weapons too. Some guy asks, are they more likely to see you inside with the lights on at night? Nope, not in my experience. And of course, I can always be proven wrong. So if the window's open, it seems like if you're within line of sight, they see whether the lights are on or not. So the way I look at it is maybe they'll hear the switch, maybe they'll see you, but they would have seen you anyway. And that way, if they get inside, we can see a lot better when we're fighting. Because right now it's almost 8 p.m. in the game. As soon as it gets dark, having the lights on is huge. Now, normally, if you didn't have the key, you couldn't open this. But we have it, so we'll go inside. Filing cabinets usually have office supplies. Here we have a bunch of guns. Now, I'll pause this for a second. If we go to our skills, oh yeah. Go over some more UI stuff. The heart over here on the left, that's basically your character. First tab, and by default, it opens the health tab because this is really your most important. If you get an injury here and you need a bandage, you can either click on the heart or press H, I think it is, to bring this up so you can bandage it really quickly. That's why health pops up first. We'll talk about exercise later. But the first tab is info. You can left click and drag to look at your character. Favorite weapon, scissors. It's our only weapon, or was. I'm gonna have to start drinking tea or something. Zombies killed 5, survived for 10 hours. So right now, if you scroll down to skills, bottom we have aiming and reloading. We have no skill level at all. So yes, we can take these guns, and guns are good in Zomboid, but when you have no skill, they can be dangerous. So, as a new player, I would start with shotgun stuff if you're going to use guns. So we'll just take shotgun stuff for now. So it takes take the box of shotgun shells. Oh, gotta unpause. I'll crouch so they don't hear me as much. Oh, maybe we won't even get a shotgun. Let's see what's over here. So we have 788 MSR 7088 rifle. It's loud, but it's not very effective in the beginning, at least. Shells bandolier makes it so you can load the weapons faster. I could put it on, but it's just more weight, so I think I'm going to skip it for now. Since we can't find a shotgun, we'll just take the shotgun shells, and just so that we have a gun. M9 pistol, shoots 9mm, magazine holds 15, so it's pretty good. This one doesn't have magazine, but there are magazines here. So we'll take this pistol, right click, attach it to our left holster. Doesn't matter which one, but 4 is always my pistol, so I'll put it there. These magazines loaded. One of them's loaded, so we'll put that in our main inventory. And then you can either right click on the pistol in your inventory and do insert magazine. You can right click on the magazine and do insert magazine. Or you can pull your gun out. In this case, I'm hitting 4 for the hot key. It even has a laser sight on it. And while it's in your primary, you can tap the R key and your character will put a magazine inside. Now if you hover over the pistol in your inventory, it shows contains magazine, and it shows 15 plus 1 because there's already one in the chamber. And the only upgrade we have there at the bottom is the laser. That'll help us hit the targets better, I think. But we'll talk about guns more later. So we'll put that away. I'll use it if I have to, but in the beginning, it's not a good idea. We can take this magazine that's empty. We'll take these 20 rounds. So we have 20 rounds in our inventory and an empty magazine. It shows 0 of 15. We right click on the magazine, insert 15 bullets. It's slow because we're new, but that'll get faster over time. In fact, we have a box here. All right, here's some 9mm rounds, so we'll take those as well. We'll take this one, this magazine. Now this one has an iron sight on it, which might be better. But we'll skip it for now. Going too deep here. We'll take this magazine as well. And another M9 magazine. Alright, what I was going to show is I'll load one more without this. We'll grab this bandolier. I think we have to be wearing it. So let me move away from it. Right now it shows 5 rounds of 9mm. We have 2 boxes of 9mm rounds we picked up. So I'll right click on one. You have to open the box before you can use the ammo. Now we have 35. The 5 we had plus the 30 from the box. Now, all these oh, that one has some in it, but these 3 are empty. Now, listen to how fast or how slowly it loads. So we'll insert 15. And you can reload while you're moving too. You don't have to be crouching, but we just have to be. Now we'll put the shells bandolier on. That's supposed to increase reloading time. Now let's try loading another one. Sounds about the same to me, but it might be slightly faster. I think that might be for shotgun shells actually. Because there's also a bullet bandolier, so that was a bad example. Sometimes I get them mixed up. We'll put that back. We'll open the other box and load the other magazines. 15, 15, 15. All right, so now we have 1 full magazine in the gun, 4 extra. I'll put those in the duffel bag just because they're heavy, as well as the extra rounds. All right, so technically we have a gun. That's not really what I wanted. Okay. If I was a veteran character, that would be better, or maybe a police officer. But it's all we have right now. Oh, got a sub coming in. See if I can read it.
RB95. Subscribe to the channel.
RB95. Welcome and thank you for the sub. Glad to have you here. So really priority is getting a water container at this point, but we haven't found one anywhere in here. We'll go check the locker rooms. I don't think there'll be a bottle, but maybe. This is like Oh wait, I thought that was interrogation rooms. It's here. Bathrooms, you can get water in here as well. And as you're clearing a building, because there could still be zombies in here, just because we haven't heard them yet doesn't mean they're not in here. I'm going to slide on. So what you can do, if you kind of want to try to get their attention to see if they're inside, you treat it like you're attacking a zombie. Get your isometric cursor, and when you swing, instead of pushing a zombie, you're pushing the door. You can also use a weapon to hit the door. There's probably none in here, but you never know. These are the showers over here. All right. So these lockers, sometimes they have good clothing. Sometimes they have backpacks, shoes. Probably no water bottles, but we're looking for trash cans for that. Another duffel bag. We can use that as a loot bag, so we'll put that in our existing duffel bag. I don't usually wear helmets, but for this guide, it's good as a new player to have as much protection as you can get. Police motorcycle helmet, you see it gives you bite defense, scratch defense 100% on your head. And the way you can look at that is you click on your heart again, go to protection. Red is unprotected, green is protected. It's green here because we have the bulletproof vest on. Right now our head is exposed, but if we right click on the motorcycle helmet and do wear, our head turns green because now it's protected. Temperature is also important. Right now, if we look at insulation, you can see it's green on or I should say, red on from the helmet. I didn't realize the helmet had that much insulation. Oh, it is very insulated. Okay. So this helmet could make us sweat a lot. As you click on insulation, it shows it's red. The bulletproof vest is about midway. Our arms are exposed, that's why they're blue. But the more red you get in here on insulation, the more likely you're going to sweat, especially in the summertime. But we'll keep it on for safety for now. So what you'll learn is once you get better at fighting and evading zombies, you might go with less clothing to stay cool in the summer and more clothing to stay warm. Just depends on your play style. It's a regular holster. I'm not going to bother switching it out. So nothing really we can use. The helmet was a good find. And this is just an interrogation room, so there's nothing in here. You might be able to disassemble this for electrical experience if you have a screwdriver. Yeah, you need a screwdriver. So that could help you gain electrical experience. And also, under skills, reloading. We have gained some reloading skill from all the reloading we just did with those magazines. So that'll make us faster later. That's a bathroom, right? Yeah, all right. Another bathroom. Oh, were there trash cans? Usually there's trash cans in these, but I guess not. Normally you wouldn't be able to open these, but because we have the key, we can. Is there a light switch in here? Probably not. What about this one? Can't see it, but there's payphones right here. Those are good for electrical experience as well. I don't think I've ever been in this jail cell. It's just dark. Another interrogation room. Another bathroom. All right. So we pretty much cleaned out this place. I don't think I went into the office over there. We'll check that real quick. Yeah, since we're here, we'll look at this. So you got a broken window. You can climb through this, but you see the glass on the inside, the actual inside of the frame. The glass on the floor, if you're not wearing shoes, they can cut your feet and get glass stuck in your feet. So make sure you're wearing shoes. But we want to clear this before you climb through a window. Our hands are empty. If you look at primary and secondary, there's nothing in our hands. You need something in your hands to do this. Otherwise, you'll cut your hands. Now, if you look at primary, we have the gun. You right-click on the glass, remove broken glass. Now all that disappears, and we can safely climb through. You can press E, or I should say hold E. I thought I heard a zombie. Okay. Let's put this away. I don't want to start shooting yet. Alright. Oh, and to look. So when you have your isometric cursor out, like we're fighting like we've been doing, while you're holding it, if you drag it away towards the direction you want to look, it'll pan for you. And you can do that to look all the way around if you need to look farther away. That's how you do that. So to climb through here, you can press and hold E, or you can right click on the window and do climb through, whichever you prefer. That's how you get through windows that are broken. Get some water. Matches, we have a lighter, but I'll take the matches anyway. Because the lighter can run out of fuel. Okay, I think we pretty much cleaned this place out. The zombie must have climbed in and climbed back out. Okay, so before you leave a building, in the beginning, we'll crouch down. You need to figure out where you're going to go, because if you don't know where you're going to go, then you're just wandering aimlessly. It doesn't give you too much, it doesn't reveal too much, but it's enough you can see other buildings. I already know what these two buildings are. If you're new and you don't know what the buildings are, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. So we're exploring, trying to find better weapons, stuff like that. Because I know this one here is the fire department, I'm going to go that way. Because we can find better weapons there than the other buildings. Try and clear our moodles before we go. Oh, drowsy. So we're tired. Let's go ahead and smoke a cigarette. Guess we'll learn about sleeping now. And you don't necessarily need to leave the building as, immediately. As you notice, we've stayed all day here and we're fine. We went outside a little bit, but you don't have to leave until, you're ready to search for the next stuff or move on from where you are, which we are ready to move on. We're hungry, so we need to find food, but we can still sleep. So to sleep, we need to find a secure place inside this building where if zombies do get inside, it'll take them a while to find us, if at all. So the reason I won't sleep in here is because of these windows right here. They'll probably see us if they get in the building. But you need a place to sleep. Unless you're ridiculously tired on your Moodle, which we're only drowsy, you can't sleep on the floor. So you need something to sleep on. A chair will do. Let me close this so I don't get a nasty surprise. We could sleep here, but we're just going to talk about picking up furniture for now. So this chair, you can right click on it and do sleep. It says bed quality bad, which is fine. We can't do any better right now. But if we didn't want it in here, we want to take it somewhere else, which there are other chairs, but I'm just doing this to show you. This tool right here that looks like a little nightstand, you can use it to pick up, to place, to rotate, or to disassemble stuff. In this case, we want to pick up the chair. And then if you, again, put it under the tile or on the tile that's under the furniture, and then you get a little clue window there that says it's a black office chair. Encumbrance is 7.5, which is pretty heavy. And you don't need a tool to pick it up. That's why it says none. Some things you pick up, you require tools. So we'll just click that, left click it, slowly pick it up. And now it's in our inventory, our main inventory right here. And because it weighs so much, I would normally right click it and put it in secondary. You don't really have to, but that's how you would do that. Now it's in our secondary circle. Now we're going to take it somewhere that's safer to sleep. And there's chairs all in here, so we could have grabbed any of these chairs. These are also bad quality. Sleep, bad quality. Bed would be good quality. But again, that has windows. These benches are probably bad quality as well. Yeah. Can't pick those up without a tool, I don't think. Oh, you can. I've never tried. Oh, that's a whiteboard. So when you go to pick something up, you put it on the tile below the item. But because this whiteboard is above it, there's multiple items in this tile. The bench as well as the whiteboard. So if I tap R, it switches to the sports bench. Which again, it does say we can pick it up. But look how much it weighs, 15. So we're going to pass on that. But you can tap R to cycle through what you can pick up in the area. So this is a good room to sleep in. There are no windows. They're not likely to find us in here right away. So we're going to use the place. Oh, another thing. You can't place furniture that's equipped in your hand. You have to unequip it. So right click, do unequip. We'll use the place tool. Doesn't matter which way, whichever way you like best. And there it is. So now we can stand by it, right click on it. Oh, now we're getting really hungry. And sleep. You sure you want to sleep? Yes. Time passes up here. You can also set an alarm on your watch so you wake up at a certain time. But I wasn't worried about it in this case. Okay, so our drowsy noodle's gone. Get a drink from the sink. Sinks you can right click. Also drink just like the water cooler. Toilets you can drink from as well. Extra protein in the toilets. Alright, so we have company in here. Go ahead and take care of them. Well, maybe not. But we're hungry. We gotta get some food. Hopefully the fire department will have some food in their kitchen. This guy, sometimes you kill zombies inside of a building, they spawn a key for you. So if you got to this building and couldn't get into the armory, you could kill zombies in here, and it may randomly generate a key for you. And then you can just drag it to your keychain. Now we have 2 of them. And here's one of those classic watches I was talking about that only shows you the time. So if we wear that, now it only shows the time instead of the time and temperature and date and all that. Which, if you're ever in here trying to see how many days you've been alive under info, it won't show you if you don't have a digital watch. But if we put a digital watch on, now it shows survive for 1 day, 3 hours. So that's why the digital watch is better. Okay, let's go to the police station. I wish I had more weapons, or melee weapons, but we don't have them, so we're just gonna have to be careful. Got 3 there. Now, it might be tempting to run and hop over that fence, which we could do that, but there's probably more zombies over there, and then instead of 3, we're gonna have more to fight. Only one of them saw me, so we can take care of him first, and we can pull them away slowly, one at a time. And unless the other ones hear us or see us, we only have to deal with this guy. Back up. Push. That's another thing I should go over. So you notice how he's outlined in green? That's called the aiming outline. So let me pause here for a second. That aiming outline is not on by default. So if you hit escape and go to options, and it's already under the display tab. So what you're looking for is this cursor section. And right here where it says aim outline, by default, it will be on ranged weapons. That means the aim outline would only work if you're using a gun to aim with. That's the only time the zombies would light up. But I recommend for new players, and I haven't let it go yet either, obviously. You set it to any weapon, and that means with melee weapons, when they're within range and you could hit them, they'll light up. So that helps you know when you can hit the zombie and which one you're attacking. So that's how you turn that on. And we're standing on them, so we're still in control. But because I bring the aiming icon up, or the isometric cursor. That's why he's highlighted, because I have that aiming outline turned on. If you don't have it, then they won't light up and you won't know if they're within striking distance. Which, until you learn, it's hard to know when they're in striking distance without it. We got 2 more. See if I can get their attention without tracking any others. Might get both of them. Okay, just that one saw me. And yes, you can kill more, with a weapon, but this is the easiest way to do it safely. If they had both come over, then I would just have to deal with both. And after you kill a zombie, not everybody does this, but I will immediately zoom out and spin around to see if any more are coming up behind me, because sometimes you don't hear them. That way you know you're clear and you're safe. And you can loot the body in peace. See if we can get his attention. Keep moving backwards, shove, moving backwards, shove, get on top of him, and stomp. Look around, we're clear, loot the body. You can write in the notebooks and stuff, we don't really need that though right now, so I'll skip it. It's surprisingly clear, but I don't see any vehicles either, that's kind of a bummer. Because I'm lazy, I'm going to hop the fence instead of going around it. Now, notice right now this house, or this fire station, you can't see what's over here in this pathway to the left side of the building. But it's because we're not close enough yet. So you don't want to just go running into that area. You want to approach it carefully until you can see the whole side of the building. And there we go. See, that's why. We didn't know they were there. Because here, you can't see them. But now here we can, and they saw us, so now we gotta deal with them. And you don't have to zoom in to fight. I usually just do it so you guys can see better. And so I can see better. I usually do 2-hour streams, so I'm about an hour and a half in. I'll go another 30 minutes. I'm going to pause for a second here. And we've already survived one day, but we'll keep going for the full 2 hours. Cover a little extra information. So you'll notice we have this moist Moodle. You'll slowly get wetter and wetter standing in the rain. And this is where, if you don't have this, go to info on your character. These little icons here, these are all the traits we took. So you have thin skin, high thirst, and like the green ones are that's kind of the opposite. It's where I never really thought about it. Oh, I guess it's just depending on it has nothing to do with good or bad. Okay, so I think the bad ones are first. Yeah. So thin skin, high thirst, slow healer, prone to illness, smoker, weak stomach, and short-sighted. Those are our bad traits. So if you forget which ones you took, you can see in here by mousing over them. But this one here with the leaf, that's outdoorsman. Because we have outdoorsman, getting wet like this, we're less likely to get sick. There's only a 10% chance. So that's why it's good. I don't have to worry about walking around the rain. You don't want to get soaked, though, because you can still get sick. But at least we know we can walk around relatively easily without getting sick from it. What else was I going to show? Oh, you'll notice this zombie, I saw it when I was fighting him, has firefighter pants on. And they're in good shape. Condition is 100%. Insulation is really high. And the water resistance is really high. And they have good bite defense and good scratch defense. Now, if you want to, as a new player, you can wear firefighter pants. You can wear the jackets. But notice it weighs 4 and it weighs 1.2 equipped. So this, along with the jacket, is really heavy and they're really warm. So you're going to have to worry about sweating a lot and it's just going to slow you down. But if you're worried about getting bitten, they're good protection. So in the early days of playing, you may want to wear something like that. It's totally up to you. Or if you know you're going into a heavily infested area where you're probably going to get bit or scratched at, you can wear them as well. I don't wear them anymore because I think they're dangerous because they're too hot and too heavy. But it's totally up to you. Here's the military boots I was talking about. Bite defense, scratch defense, 100. So these are definitely an upgrade from our little strappy shoes. And what you want to look at is, you see that condition? If that condition is not 100%, there's probably a hole in the boots. So these are in good shape. Another way you can check, if it's clear, I'll check. You can right click on the boots and do inspect. It pulls them into your inventory. And now we have, it shows you the boots in detail. It shows there's blood on each boot. But if there was damage, like this condition wasn't 100, actually it's not entirely accurate. It could just be they're worn down, but if you find them on a zombie and the condition is reduced, there's probably a hole in them. But if you ever want to make sure, including your own shoes, because when you wear them, see if mine have gone down at all. So if you look at my strapped shoes here, the conditions drop just a little bit. That's from stomping zombie heads. So your shoes do wear out over time. In this case, there aren't any holes in the boots, so it's definitely an upgrade. So play. And now they're in our inventory. So we'll right click and wear them. And we can just drop our shoes on the zombie because we don't care about them anymore. And we could take that extra lighter, but don't need it. Alright. So we're approaching the fire department. Man, I actually expected more zombies for apocalypse settings, but that's okay. Now, we could go over here and take care... Well, now we have to because he saw me, but we could have ignored that guy, but he's probably going to bang on the window anyway. So it's best to just take him out now. Very colorful outfit, sir. They don't always fall down, so you just back up and push. Back up and push until they fall down. The stronger you are, the easier they are to knock down. Alright, so we're pretty clear here. There could be some around this corner, so we got to be careful. Alright, now before you go into a building, got a few down there. I don't think they'll see us though. You could just open this door and go in, but what if there's zombies in there? They might bite you, just being right on the other side of the door. So if you want to be extra cautious, push the door. Push the door. Walk over to this window. I keep looking down to see if they're crossing the street. They are not. Looks pretty clear. But there could be a zombie right here to the left of the window, so we don't want to just jump in there. We're just kind of taking a cursory look into the building to see what we can expect. Looks pretty clear. Now if you want to open windows, walk up to it. You can right click and do open window. Or you can tap E. Your character will try. If they fail, the lock will break and you won't be able to open it from the outside anymore. But we got it, so being strong actually helps you open windows. See if I can get this one to fail to show you what I mean. It'll probably open though. Yeah, on the first try. To climb through, you'd right click to climb through or hold E, but since there could be a zombie standing on the other side of the window, we're not going to do that. Hey Erica, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you back. Hi. Now since I'm thinking about it, then we have power still. Because after a certain amount of time, depending on what your settings are, it's kind of random. The power will shut off and the water will shut off. So right now we have electricity and we have unlimited water. So in this case, not only are there light switches, you can click on these and it turns them on and off. You can also right click, do turn off, right click, do turn on. You can take the light bulb out if you want, but that's how you interact with the exterior lighting. They don't have switches. So we're going to open these doors, or at least one of them. And because there could be a zombie right on the other side, you want to be ready with your aiming, your isometric cursor in the direction that you may need to push if there's a zombie there. With this cursor out, you can press E and open it. In fact, something I learned from Private Lime, and I've seen other people do it, and I don't really do it anymore, but I used to. You can do the door flash, and the way you do that is just double tap E. It opens and closes real quick. So if there was a zombie right on the other side and you double tap it, you'll see them, but they won't have a chance to attack you. So that's another way to make sure that the coast is clear. For a little added accessibility, you can open this one, move over to this side, open this one. So now you have a bigger entrance and exit should you need to turn around and run. Again, I clear doorways by running. The only time it's really dangerous is if you don't know the interior of the building. So as a new player, I would say be careful running through a doorway if you don't know it. But if you slowly approach it, you can kind of peer inside. You still can't see left or right of the doorway. So I know that I can go all the way to that wall and run all the way back if I need to. So I can run in. And if there were zombies, I could run right back out. Oh, we're clear. I don't think they saw me. We'll go in here, close this one, close that one. The rest of the building could have zombies still. So we'll take it slow. It's trash can. You use garbage bags as a temporary bag if you don't have a duffel bag or something. Man, my voice. Apologies. The way to use a garbage bag, you can't put it on your back, but you do have an option to equip secondary. Let's turn the slide on so you can see better. So now, because the garbage bag is equipped secondary, we see it in our secondary circle, we see it in our hand, and it's on our inventory bar. So now we can click on that and carry stuff in it if we want to. And it holds 20, but here's the kicker. If we look at the duffel bag, like I said, it has 65% reduction in encumbrance. The garbage bag is only 10% reduction, so it's harder to carry, it's heavier to carry, it's not ideal, but if you have no other bag, it's better than nothing. So for now, we'll put this back. Because we have the trash can icon highlighted on the right side here, you can right click on the bag and just put it in garbage and it automatically moves it over. That's another way to move stuff. Oh, I forgot to say this earlier. So by default, your personal inventory is on the left and area inventory is on the right. Drunk on Life, and I think I've seen one other person do this. They'll switch these windows so they're backwards. Well, backwards to me. But you can move them around whatever makes sense to you. To me, default on the left, area on the right makes sense. But you can move these if you want to. You can put them anywhere you want. You can make the windows, you can drag them, make them bigger or smaller. Whatever you're comfortable with. This is about the size I like, so you have those options. I don't know if I've ever found anything in these boxes. Also, if you notice everything's on a grid with the tile, if you right click on the ground and do walk to, this is another way to move around. If you click on the left click on the tile you want to get to, your character will walk there. But I also use it to demonstrate stuff. So we're standing in this tile. Everything in a 3x3 around us is accessible. So all 9 of these tiles, including the one we're standing on, we can reach from this position. So if we look at our inventory window, you can see all 3 boxes. And that's so if I click on each one, it cycles through them. My point is, if we were surrounded by boxes, you could access all of them from this tile. So when you're looting, let's say I come over here, I can only see 2. I can see these 2 because they're within range, but this one's not. So for faster looting, stand where you can access the most number, if possible. Randomando, welcome to the stream. Are you using no melee weapons intentionally? I just haven't found any yet. So I guess to show how to push down zombies, yeah, I guess so. But I'll definitely find one here at the fire department for sure. But that's a very good question. I would say no, it wasn't intentionally, but it worked out for demonstration purposes. Oh, another sub coming in.
Rondo Mondo, subscribe to the channel.
Rondomondo. Hopefully that's the correct way to say it. I gotta get water. But it's up to you. Some people say leave the doors and windows open so you have a fast retreat. I usually close them behind me so the zombies will start banging on them instead of just sneaking up on me. So it's totally up to you. If you want a quick way to run out, leave these open. But I close them for security purposes. For quality assurance and security purposes. Abba, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Okay. So I want water first. There's a water cooler in there. We'll smoke a cigarette too. And we can see in here pretty well. There technically could be a zombie right here, but I don't think so. But I'll run through anyway. That's my habit. Go over here and get a drink. Try to get rid of as many of these noodles as we can. I think I hear a zombie. Oh shit. So they're already inside the room. Oh, because I left the window open. Now see? I hit E to open the door. See if we can knock one down and push the other one. Okay. So that one got stuck on the window, which is good for us. The one inside. He broke it, but at least it slowed him down. So we were able to take them one at a time. I make it a general rule I don't take underpants from zombies because I don't want to wear zombified underpants. But if I find them in the store, that's different. So they broke that window. You gotta be aware of that. I should probably close this so that doesn't happen again. Look at this, crayons on the desk. I prefer crayons because we get all the colors of the rainbow when we're updating our map, and we'll go ahead and get rid of the pen because it's unnecessary at this point. Now, this red coffee mug, we don't have a bottle yet. We can use that to hold water. It doesn't hold a lot, but it's better than nothing. What else do we have popping in here? RB95, welcome to the stream. Got 3 hours playtime. Tips are helping, dude. Cheers from UK. Awesome, awesome. Glad it's helping. That was my intention. Glad to hear it. Abbott says 489. Very nice. The road to 500, only 11 away. We're getting there. We're getting there. And welcome, welcome, Abba. More crayons, but we're going to take all the coffee mugs to hold water because in Project Zomboid you can carry open containers with water and not spill it. And we have crayons now, so that's good. Okay, these red books. Let's smoke a cigarette first. Get rid of this anxiety icon or Moodle, anxious on edge. That's from being a smoker. So to manage that, which I honestly don't know what the anxiety causes. Maybe it makes you do less damage. I honestly don't know. Sometimes I ignore it. So these red books, if you hover over it, it shows you boredom reduction is 50. So if you're bored, if your character's stressed or unhappy, these red books help a lot. We don't really need one right now, but I can grab one for later to demonstrate. But if you're setting up a base or a safe house, they're good to have if you need to take the edge off of your boredom and depression and stuff. They help a lot. Nothing special in the shelves. What's here? Another mug. Okay, so we have 4 mugs. It's not ideal, but again, it's better than nothing. We don't have a bottle, so we can right-click, and not only can we drink, we can fill all of these mugs. Clicking fill all. Now, this is, I guess, a tip just from my perspective. We have 4 mugs of water. In order for you to auto drink, because if we right click, disable auto drink, I've seen a few players disable auto drink to where you have to manually drink water. I don't like that much micromanagement, so I leave it on. It's on by default. So if auto drink is enabled, then as long as you have a water container that has water in it in your main inventory, that being the cardboard box, you will sit from that. So what I do is I'll take at least one water container that's full. I'll put it in my bag. And the reason I do that is what will happen is all 3 of these will run out from auto drink and you won't know it. It's just going to happen. And then your thirst moodle is going to pop up over here and you're like, oh, I'm out of water. Well, if you're not close to a water source, that could be a problem. So if you keep spare water in your bag, you won't automatically drink from this. You have to pull it out and put it in your main inventory. So this is kind of like your early warning system. When these run out, usually I'll carry a bottle of water in my main inventory and then maybe 2 in my bag. So if the one in my main inventory runs out and I get thirsty, I can pull my spare out and then I'm like, okay, I'm on my spare bottle of water. I need to get water as soon as possible, but it's not an emergency because you have backup water in your bag. I think that makes sense. Let me pause for a second. Erica says, some guy, I don't know if he mentioned it, but flashing the light switch off and on will attract them. It can, yeah. Or will alert them. Did I miss some guy's comment? Oh, about the lights. Okay. Got it. Yeah, the light switches can attract them by sound. Definitely. Um, it's rare though. They have to be pretty close. So now if we run out of water, we'll have 1 mug left. I'll probably do 2 because these run out pretty quickly. That way we'll have time to go get water if we run out. I checked everything else in this room. Now you could sneak around inside the building. I usually only sneak if I don't want to alert zombies that I know. I don't want to alert ones outside, or I want to avoid some that I've already seen. But when I'm inside, I tend to walk normally because I want to make a little more noise, so zombies might make noise, like they might hear me and not sneak up on me, if that makes sense. We'll check these other rooms, but since they have closed doors, this is open to the garage, so I'm going to clear that first. Because if I start going through these doors, there could be some in there that just walk in and walk up behind me. So I look for open areas first. Yeah, normally if they're in the same room, true, yeah. So I don't know if you can hear that, but I hear banging. It's probably upstairs because it sounds far away. I'm not too worried about it. Actually sounds like it's over here. Might be a window outside, but sounds like a door. Okay. So I'm going to clear the garage first. There's a staircase here that goes to the second level, but we want to clear the bottom floor first so we don't get any nasty surprises. Again, I'm going to run into here because I don't know how many are here and I can run right back out. Just got to get used to moving, but to me that's the safest way to make sure it's clear. Alright, so I see no one in here, so that's good. I know there are weapons in here, so we're going to go in here because we really need melee weapons. Again, I'm going to stand here so that I can access this one, and that one. Firefighter pants, don't want them. Alright, so we have an axe. We'll put that on our back. I don't usually fight with axes because my experience they make you tired pretty quickly, but our fitness level is pretty high, so we'll take it. Pipe wrench is another good weapon. This one's considered short blunt, so we'll put it on our left belt. So now if you look down here, we have the axe on 1, the pipe wrench on 2. That in our bag. Need to find food. Should be upstairs. Tactical walkie-talkie. I hear a zombie. He might be inside. We're okay. We don't really need the walkie-talkie necessarily, but I'll show it to you since it can be useful. If we right-click on it and do equip secondary, it'll put it in our hand, our offhand. And it automatically brings up this little UI for it. Now if we go down here to the channels and click the drop-down, this one's programmed for hits FM, civilian radio, unknown frequencies. So none of those are useful. What you're looking for here is the automated emergency broadcast frequency, because you can use that to get news about the weather and stuff. But if you're not going to use the radio, you can also right-click on this battery and take the battery. You can use the battery for a flashlight later. So when you right-click it, it disappears and it shows up in your main inventory. You can just move it to your bag. So you have it for later. And then this one, we don't really need the radio, so I'm going to put it back. And because we have this shelf open, if we right-click on the radio, there's an option to put it in container. It just automatically puts it in that shelf because we had it open. Or you could drag it. What else we got in here? Okay. The holy trinity of tools in this game are saw, hammer, and screwdriver. You pretty much need those three to do anything productive. So we got 2 out of 3. We're going to drag those to our bag. Always keep those on you. We don't have a screwdriver yet, but we'll find one. We also found 2 more brand new axes. We already have one. What room do we have? We have plenty of room in our bag, so I'll grab them. If they become too heavy, I can always drop them later. But that's 3 axes, so we are set for melee for a while. We'll check this one. We have boots already. I don't think gas mask does anything in vanilla, so I'll leave it. Alright, so nothing else in here. We really need some food. We're very hungry. If we click on our heart, go to info. Next to weight, it's 79. We started with 80. This down chevron or down arrow, that means we're losing weight. That's because we were hungry and we haven't eaten in a while. The opposite of this is the arrow pointing up means you're gaining weight. And you can also have 2 arrows or 2 chevrons pointing up, which means you're gaining weight at a faster rate. So we kind of want to get that. I say stay between 80 and 84 is ideal. If you start dropping weight, you need to come up with a solution to maintain your weight at least, or get rid of these downward arrows so you're not losing weight. Now that we have melee weapons, we haven't really talked about those too much other than the scissors. Pipe wrench is a short blunt. The range is closer, and it swings faster. Axe is a longer range. It swings a little slower. It's going to make you tired faster or exerted faster, so you got to be aware of that. It's a great weapon, though, and it can also be used for cutting down trees. So I guess I'll demonstrate with... The other thing to pay attention to is, notice the pipe wrench. It's in our primary hand up here at the top left. You switch to axe, it's in both hands. So like if you wanted to carry a flashlight, you can't do it with the axe and still fight. So you're probably going to use a one-handed weapon at night with a flashlight to fight. But we'll switch to axe for now because we don't need a flashlight. And again, use your aiming to determine the direction, and you swing with the left mouse button. And I have it out because I may have to get into a fight when I step out here. Eat open and run through. So they're still outside. Oh, that guy saw me. Now, if you don't want them to break the window, you can just open it real quick and let them in. You can run away if you want. Some people will stand there and just stomp on them. The other thing with the axe is it will destroy their clothing. So if you see clothes you really want, maybe don't use a sharp weapon. Switch to a blunt weapon. The blunt weapons will sometimes damage clothes, but it's pretty rare. Alright, and you'll notice now we have the drowsy moodle. So I forget what the percentage is, but we will do slightly less damage because we're starting to get tired. So once you start getting tired, you need to have a plan to sleep. Otherwise, you're going to be in danger of getting killed because it takes too long to kill zombies, and they wear out your weapons faster because you're just not doing the damage. So let's see what these guys have. And if you kind of stand in between them, you can usually access both of them. I don't really have anything that I want. And if you look, the firefighter jacket, the condition is lower because I hit him with the axe. And you don't always have to grab keys. The reason I grab every key I see is now we have a key to the fire department. We may not need it. It's really more useful in multiplayer or when you're playing Bandits mod. To keep people from opening doors, you can lock the doors and still access it from the outside. However, let's say a zombie breaks down a door. Let's say they break this door down. And it drops a doorknob, because sometimes when they destroy it, a doorknob will drop to the floor along with hinges sometimes. If you take that doorknob, because the doorknob is from this building and the key is from this building, you can use that doorknob and build a door somewhere else and lock it and unlock it because you have the key to that doorknob that came from this building. So if you know you want to lock your doors, like in multiplayer or something, and you find a bunch of doorknobs in a building, try to lure zombies inside and kill them, and they may randomly generate a key, in which case you'll have a key to all the doorknobs you find in that building. Annotated maps. We haven't gone over that yet. I'll grab this and I'll go in the other room. I keep thinking the zombie's going to walk through or fall through that window. We don't want to open it because it's going to make us blind. So if we open the annotated map, right click and do read. That's a map of Riverside, obviously. And then there's a little flavor text here. Room 208, waiting for you. Remember when we spent the whole day just staring at the river? Don't leave me alone here. So basically, because of this, and in this, I guess it's this blue building here, loot can spawn in there because of this map. These annotated maps provide loot at the map locations on the annotated map. So sometimes it's guns, sometimes it's food, but it can give you a little side quest or something that you're looking for. We're going to skip it because we're not going to Riverside, but that's how you use an annotated map. Okay, we'll check out a few more things in here and head upstairs for food. Really want a screwdriver. There's a screwdriver. Here, coming up behind me. Quite a few friends coming in. Now we're getting backed into a corner, so let's get out of the corner. Alright, we'll try and talk about handling the zombies here a little bit. Okay, so as they're approaching you, you can swing the one that's closest, and then it kind of stops them and or knocks them down, and another one will approach. So you kind of reposition your cursor for different angles if necessary. Sometimes they'll line up for you, sometimes they won't. But you can move around and get them in the direction that you want. You'll see what I mean. But you'll see me, if they're coming at me closer together, I'll kind of pivot and swing at different ones. It takes a little practice, and sometimes I screw it up, but you kind of dance with the zombies. I don't know what else to call it. And we're still drowsy, so I probably shouldn't be fighting these guys. But we got to clear them before we go to sleep anyway, so like we'll hit this guy. And then back up and get this guy. And we got to get away from him. You don't have to run, it's just a little safer. As long as you don't get exerted. We could take him outside, but we can probably handle him in here. And it's taking longer because we're a little bit drowsy. And our thirst moodle came up, so our first 2 mugs of water are empty. Well, we didn't get exerted, so that's good. Probably because our fitness level is high from the traits we took. And sometimes the key will spawn an actual key ring, and if you drag and drop it to the ground, it'll appear over here, and you can click on it and take the key. It won't always be like an individual key. You might have to pull it off of a key ring. Another key, but we already have one for the fire department. And if you had more than one person living in your safe house on multiplayer, you could grab every key you find, and then you could each have one. Well, did I get the screwdriver? I don't think I grabbed it. I didn't get it. I saw a screwdriver over here. That's the third tool we want. Nails are hugely useful, so take nails whenever you see them. And I'll show you something with the digital watch. Propane torch, that's a good find as well. Gas can, so a lot of good stuff we're finding. We'll take the gas can or one of them. Go ahead and take the propane torch. Oh, see? So now we're getting kind of over encumbered. I'll leave the propane torch for now. But ideally, you would want that propane torch and the welder's mask. You can use those to do a lot of stuff. So we know they're here, though. So now that I have a screwdriver, this digital watch, we already have a digital watch, so we don't have to worry about, or we don't need an extra one. But if you right-click on digital watches, let's look at our electrical skill first. Right now, our electrical skill is 0 XP. So if we right-click on this digital watch and do dismantle, because we have a screwdriver, our character takes it apart. We get one item of scrap electronics in our inventory. We don't really need those right now, so I'll just drop them on the zombie. But we also got a little bit of XP for electrical, 0.65. We'll talk about skill books later, but at some point you'll want to get your electrical at least to level 1 so you can hotwire cars. So digital watches are one way to do that. I don't remember what was in here. Medical, maybe? Okay. So to help injuries or wounds heal faster, you don't want them to get infected, so alcohol wipes are good. Antibiotics really aren't useful in vanilla, but you can use them in a lot of mods for this game. So at least you should know what they look like in case you're playing a modded version. Bottle disinfectant does the same as alcohol wipes. Sleeping tablets, we don't really need them right now, but they do come in handy if you can't fall asleep, so I'll grab those. Painkillers if you get an injury also help. What else do we got? Okay, you can put a medical coat on if you want. Scalpel. It's a short blade weapon. I'll take it until I get a knife. Put it on the belt right. Suture needle. I'll take it in case we get a deep wound, but it's very unlikely. But you can use it to stitch up deep wounds. And unless you're a loot goblin, you don't have to take everything you find. But that's your call. No judgment. So we have the suture needle. We'll take a suture needle holder. You need both to stitch up a wound. I'll leave the other suture needle because we don't really need to right now. We already have scissors. Oh no, we broke the scissors. Yeah, we can find more later if we need to. Try not to take everything. It's too heavy. More mugs. How much do they weigh? Yeah, they're kind of heavy, so I'm not going to take any more. Need to find a bottle. Oh, there's a bottle. Okay. Bleach bottle. I've never done this before, but if you need to end your character so you can start a new run, you could drink the bleach. You could also put it in food to poison yourself or someone else. But the other thing you could do is you could right click on it. You use it to clean stuff too, like blood on the ground. But you can right click on it, do pour on ground. And now we have a good sized bottle to hold water. It's completely safe because it's empty. So we're going to get rid of these mugs now because we don't need them anymore. I'll keep those two for now as our backup water, I guess. So this is going to fill up. Another tip, I guess, for me is, how do I say this? Okay. Right now we're thirsty. And we have the empty bottle. All right, so how do I do this? I'm trying to think of demonstrating. So when you right click, I always drink first and then I fill. And the reason I do that is because right now my character is really thirsty. So let's fill this bottle. And what's going to happen is, right now it's empty. When we fill it, because we're thirsty, we instantly drink from it. And now our bottle, see, it's already down almost, it's like 20%, 25%. And it's because basically we filled up the bottle and then we took a drink from it. But if you drink first, now your thirst is gone, and then you fill it, you'll get to leave with a bottle full of water. Some people will fill the bottle and then refill it again. You can do that. But just so I don't forget, I'll drink first and then fill the bottle. And that's all I have to say about that. Oh, I'm at 2 hours. Let's get some food and then I'll log out. I'll be done. Cigarettes. Because we are a little anxious and tired. We're going to have to clear upstairs too. Now that we're tired and not drowsy, our melee damage is even less. I'm going to switch to the pipe wrench because I'm afraid I'll get exerted using the axe being tired. I guess we could talk about clearing tops of stairs too. Bleach bottle for the win, that's right. Okay, something about stairs. I don't know if everybody knows this. Normally stairs are just, this is a double wide staircase. Let me go close this window actually. Alright. This is a double wide staircase. Normally stairs are just half of this. But what you'll notice is if I go up this side, you can't cross over because they're considered separate staircases. So you need to be aware of that because if you end up fighting on the stairs and you're running around, you might panic and think you can go this way and you can't. So you have to choose a side. I don't know if zombies can pass through. Now that I'm explaining this, now I'm wondering. So technically, if zombies can't pass through that middle section like we can't, you could use this as a barrier, but I haven't tested that, so I don't know. So when you're approaching the top of the stairs, it could be very dangerous. If there's a zombie right at the top, you won't see them until you cross that threshold, which then it could be too late. You do it a couple ways. You can come up here and swing immediately. Try to swing right when you get to the top. You could do the run up and past it, but if you don't know the floor plan, that could be dangerous. But to me, having a weapon out and getting ready to swing is probably the best. Unless you know the floor plan, then I would just run past it. But that's your call, and you'll have to feel it out for yourself. Hopefully we can find out which door it is so I can show you how the door moves. Okay. Okay, you can see him through the window, but if there was no window, notice how the door moves every time he hits it. So you can still see that even if the window isn't there. So let's say you come up here, you don't know where the zombie is. You could look at the doors. Is the door moving? No. No, but once you find a door that's moving, you know the zombie's on the other side. Oh, well, I haven't eaten, so my Moodle says I'm starving. That's why my heart's going crazy. we're starting to lose health because I'm starving to death. But it takes a long time, so we're still okay. We'll get some food soon. We gotta take care of this guy. Now, I've died like this before. See how my cursor is right behind him? That's fine. But sometimes you get lazy or not paying attention. Maybe your cursor's off to the side a little bit, or off to this side. If you open the door now, he's going to get you because you're going to miss. You want to make sure it's right in front. On the other side of the zombie, open the door with E. And just like any other melee combat. We got beds to sleep in at least. That'll be nice. Because if you look at the bed, you right click, sleep good quality. So you won't have neck pain when you wake up. But the kitchen's over here. Hopefully it's clear. And hopefully it has food because we are starving to death. We'll drink the pop to take the edge off. It'll help with thirst. Because if you hover over food, hunger is only going to take off 8. But thirst, it'll take off 60, and unhappiness, it'll make us a little happier. So we'll drink the whole can. And we don't really need the pop can. We'll leave that here. And we got a bottle of water now. Another one, so we'll drop this. Actually, we'll get rid of the mugs. So now we have the bleach bottle full of water and a regular bottle of water. So we're good for water. We have canned food, but no can opener. Maybe we can find one. Mr. Syme, oh nice. How can I survive if I started with 0 stats? Mr. Syme, welcome to the stream. Anyone new here? Mr. Syme likes to make Zomboid as difficult as humanly possible, including making your stats 0 when you start, like strength and fitness. I don't recommend it unless you really like pain. Other items you can use to carry water. This saucepan looks like this. You can put water in that and carry it around. The cooking pot looks like this. I just took it out of the cabinet and put it on the top of the cabinet. But you can fill those with water. They hold a lot more water. So that's another way. They're just heavier. So if you don't find a bottle, you could use one of those or both of those. We don't have a can opener, so I'm not going to take the cans of food yet. We can eat the crackers. Boris, welcome to the stream. 0 to Hero, that's right. Mr. Syme loves 0 to Hero. I do not. Erica says, pray. Do I need to pray? Cereal has a lot of calories. Right now, we're still losing weight. We're still super hungry, so I'm going to eat the entire box of cereal. We don't have a bowl, right? See, there's even food in the fridge and the freezer. We have milk, but we don't have a bowl. Otherwise, I would make a bowl of cereal. But that's okay. We'll just eat the entire box because we're really hungry. These dried beans are some of the best things to cook with in this game for weight gain. So keep that in mind. There's 6 varieties. Black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, split peas, white beans, and lentils. Those are all good. You can eat the whole bag, but look how much thirst it gives you. Dry beans gives you plus 60 on thirst, and it's going to make you unhappy. But it's a lot of calories, so if you have enough to drink, it could be worth it. We're still hungry. Let's talk about cooking a little bit. We'll take this ground beef. Again, I shouldn't have done that. It's frozen, but it's still dangerous. Ground beef, dangerous uncooked. So you don't want to eat it like this. So instead of clicking on it or dragging it so you don't accidentally eat it, I recommend using grab. And go over to this oven here. Because we have power. You're right click, put in oven. Because we had the oven selected. Turn it on, and it's actually frozen. So it's got to defrost first, and then it'll start cooking. And the reason I clicked on it here on the icon, right now you can't see the status of the food unless you mouse over it. I'd rather not have to mouse over it, so you drop down, then you can automatically see As long as you have the window open. And sprinters up to 100, says Boris. That's right. XP at 0.1, says Mr. Syme. You're ridiculous, sir. But you do know how to kill, so Mr. Syme is one of the pros. So now it's not thawing out anymore, it's cooking. As soon as it reaches the end, it's going to start burning, so we're going to want to grab it. You don't want to eat burnt food, it will kill you. I found out the hard way thinking burnt bacon is good. Yeah, and then I died. So don't eat burnt food ever. And it'll show burning, but I don't know if it has to get... The red has to go all the way to the right before it's burned. I always grab it before then, but I'll grab it as soon as it starts burning just to be sure. I guess I could have sped it up. I forgot. I just hover over grab so I'm ready. And turn it off. See, it still shows it's burning, but it also shows fresh cooked. So it's burning but not burnt. That'll give us a hunger of 52. Unhappiness. It'll improve it by 2. Right click and eat. Yep. The downward arrow went away, so we're not losing weight anymore. But we're not gaining either. Our hunger noodles is full to bursting, so we can't eat anymore even if we wanted to. So really, until we go to sleep, we've done all we can do. I'll show you sleep and then I'll end the stream. And pick it up next time. Now, something else you can do. Right now, a zombie could break down this door. I'm probably not going to because we don't hear anything. So for added protection, you can pick up this low table. And bring it over here. And then go back to the tool and do place. You can place it in front of the door. So now the zombie has to break down the door and break through the table. So it will give you a little more time to respond if they get in here. Avis says, hello, Mr. Syme. Alright, so I'll show you how to sleep. Oh, we did that already. I'll show you with the alarm. So right now it's 7:30 in the morning. We don't want to sleep the whole day away. So you can go to your watch in your inventory, right click, do set alarm. You should probably sleep at least 6 hours. So what would that be? What would be noon? So we'll say 2 p.m. Of course, it's military time unless you change it in the settings. So 2 p.m. will be 1400. Click on the alarm box, click OK. Now when we go to sleep at 2 p.m., it'll wake us up. Sleep. Yes. And when the alarm goes off, you just click on the bell to shut it off. And click it again to turn the alarm off completely. Now we didn't sleep the whole day away. We still have some daylight and we can get some more stuff done. Mr. Syme, oh no. Or wait, oh, do door frame, then chair after. Magic, you'll never get overrun. Do door frame and then chair after. Well, that could be something new I didn't know. So you're saying instead of this table, put a chair in front of the door? What do you mean door frame? I'll grab a chair from somewhere. Were there any in here? Yeah, I'll grab this. Now, so you can pass through a chair. Oh, I didn't look in here yet. We'll do that next time. We'll pick up this chair. See what Mr. Syme is talking about. Here's a Moodle we haven't seen yet because we're strong. This Moodle here that looks like a brain with a stem, which is actually a guy with a giant backpack. Fairly heavy load. That's because we picked up that heavy chair. And now we're carrying too much. That'll make us swing slower. It can help us or cause us to get exerted. So you don't want that Moodle. So as soon as we put the chair down, it'll go away. Erica says, I miss the TV stair strat. I think Admiral showed me that, and it still works as far as like keeping zombies from pathing to you, or what do you mean? That is Sprinter's tech, says Mr. Simon. Cheese don't do, or are you on the dark side? So are what you say is what you're saying close this door and then put the chair in front of it? I mean, cheese is subjective. If people want to do it, I don't care. But like this, I can still walk through it. Are you telling me zombies won't be able to get through it? I'm confused. Because it looks like it works to me. I'll wait for Simon to answer, but we're done sleeping, so I guess I can move this. Just because it's going to annoy me if it's in front of the door. Geez, son, every day is your first day, am I right? It's very true. Build a wall frame, then put a table, actually. Oh, an actual wall frame, like as a carpenter. Okay. Well, we'll cover that another time. So we did pretty well. I hate ending the stream bloody, so we'll go get cleaned up before I log out. Is this a bathroom? No, another bedroom. We can use the kitchen sink. So the way you can get washed up is with a sink or a bathtub. Right click, do wash. You can do just yourself, you can do all clothing, or you can do each item individually. I usually do all clothing and then yourself, because if you do yourself first and then you do all clothing, while you're washing the clothes, your person can get dirty. So it's best to just wash up yourself after. So we'll do all clothing and then yourself, and then I'll speed this up. And since it's unlimited water, it's not wasting. If the water had been turned off, I wouldn't do this until I had plumbing hooked up. So now we're all fresh as a daisy, ready to go for the next stream. Get back to it. We'll take this other bedroom up here since it's farther away from the action. And that's technically our first 2 days, but we've accomplished a lot in those first 2 days. So let's see. I'll pause so I'm not wasting any more time in the game. Cheese-san says every day. Yep. Mr. Syme says build a wall frame. Cheese-san, I never saw you in Endgame. What do you consider Endgame? Mr. Syme, Zeds can path but can't break the frame. Okay. Cheese-san, even if I got everything in my server with 40,000 kills. Mr. Syme says you can corner kill Zeds with long blunt axes and spears. Nice, I get bored at 10k and just start clearing forests. Yeah, what do you consider endgame, Chisan? I'm curious. I mean, in order for me to get to endgame, the way I would think about it, I would have to. There'd be a lot of grinding involved. I tend to avoid that on the stream excessively anyway. I probably should just try to do it at some point. A year would be a long time, so I don't know what you mean by endgame. But while Chisan is potentially answering that, I will say my goodbyes. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to check out the stream. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to stop by and see me. Thank you for all the likes and all the laughs. We have 16 likes today. That is awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Chisan says, all your base built ever dream car with your personal armory. I would say I've had the dream car and the personal armory, and I've built my entire base before. I just don't know if I've done the entire base on stream. So yeah, maybe not on stream. I haven't done in game. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do that with this series. We'll see. Since this one's going to be a long one. I'll do it intermittently with the other series I have, though. Um, Thank you, and apologies to Jacksepticeye. We ran out of time today. I'll be sure to get him on the stream soon. Good luck. Thank you, sir. So until next time, safe journey. Keep on keeping on and keep on surviving. I'll be back on tomorrow. Thank you for all the subs, too. I don't usually get subs every stream, so I appreciate them. Sometimes I forget to say thank you. So thank you so much, guys. And I will see you next time. Bye. Excited for tomorrow, says Erica. Awesome. See you then.